Here we are again discussing the great things that make our world so incredible. This time, we focused on areas that are not only breathtakingly gorgeous, but also even real. Places whose aesthetic goes beyond human knowledge, where colors are not what they should be like in the Pink Lake in Senegal, or the rock formations form shapes that you can see nowhere else like in the Wave in Arizona. Keep your eyes wide open because the world is just more beautiful than you thought it was. If you are ready to see it, here are the 10 most unreal places to visit on Earth. Number 10 is the Lake Retba in Senegal. Lake Retba, a coral pink lake between white sand dunes and the Atlantic Ocean, is located less than an hour from Dakar, the capital of Senegal, and it's a lovely sight. Visitors who do not go during the dry season, which is typically from November through June when it is claimed to be brightly pink and less so from July through October, may miss this stunning and rare sight. The 3 square kilometer lake's salt level is comparable to that of the Dead Sea and even exceeds it during the dry season, according to residents, which explains why it has a pink appearance. A salt-loving microalga that produces a red pigment is the cause of the water's coloration when exposed to sunlight. According to oral history, people used to fish in the lake. But by the 1970s, after a time of economic difficulty and drought, villagers began to gather and sell salt as a source of revenue. Locals have since then been transporting, drying, and trading salt from the lake, with over 70% of it being exported around West Africa. If you're wondering how these locals collect salt from the sea without hurting themselves, you're not alone. Most of these workers, who are youths, work 7 hours a day with the most basic of tools such as a basket, spade, and stick. To protect their skin from the harsh salinity, they rub shea butter on their body before entering the water. If not, the salt will damage it and cut their skin. These ones face serious work hazards because the longer they stay inside the lake, the larger the salty water makes their wounds, and if they don't cover those wounds with shea butter, they will become worse. With a depth of only 3 meters, each harvester paddles to a chosen area using a long stick to push against the bottom of the lake to feel where the salt is. The boat they rent to collect the salt is called a pirogue and is made of wood. Using any engine or metal fixture would suffer immediate rust. It is estimated that 1,000 people work around this, and they collect 24,000 tons of salt each year. These harvesters are Malians, Guineans, Ivorians, Burkinabé, and even some from Guinea-Bissau. The men who work as the harvesters, filling their baskets with salt before heaving it over their heads into their boats, and can harvest between 10 to 12 buckets. There are others, basically women, who wait on shore to carry the salt from boat to land. Number 9. Socotra, Yemen. Socotra is considered to be a unique archipelago in the Indian Ocean for the diversity of its exotic flora and fauna. Its weird alien plants are the result of the island's long geological isolation together with unbearable heat and drought. One of the most unusual Socotra plants is the dragon's blood tree, resembling a strange umbrella. Aboriginals believed its red sap to be the blood of a dragon. Number 8. Glen Brittle, Scotland. Glen Brittle is a large glen in the south of the Isle of Skye in Scotland. It runs roughly south to north, along the River Brittle, which has its mouth at Loch Brittle, a sea loch. The glen is also overlooked from the east by the formidable Cuillin, the largest mountain on Skye. Many tributaries of the Brittle run down from these mountains into the glen, including a stream with waterfalls known as the Fairy Pools, a popular place to go for a walk. Because of its location by the peaks, the area is popular with hikers and mountain bikers. Number 7. Fly Geyser, Nevada. Fly Geyser is located on the territory of a private fly ranch, which makes access extremely difficult. This geyser was casually created during good drilling. The well went out of order after several decades of operation as warm geothermal water had found a weak spot and began to leak onto the surface. Dissolved minerals started their sculpture job, which is still going on. Number 6. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. Salar de Uyuni, or Salar de Tunupa, is the world's largest salt flat, occupying an area of about 10,582 square kilometers. Today's salar is a result of transformations between several prehistoric lakes. Its surface is covered by a few meters of salt crust, possessing the utmost flatness, which varies within 1 meter over the entire area. The crust serves as a source of salt and makes a pool of brine, rich in lithium as well. Number 5. Lake Natron, Tanzania. Lake Natron, an alkaline lake in Tanzania's Arusha region, is regarded as the deadliest lake on the planet. Lake Natron is not your normal lakeside vacation destination, no. Here, swimming is exchanged for seeing one of the most hostile settings on Earth. Lake Natron is hauntingly beautiful. Images of animals that have been turned to stone have placed this destination on the map. Its FEV level can reach 10.5, which is enough to burn skin. Surrounded by towering hills, the lake is colored deep red, an ominous sign. Yet it doesn't scare the lesser flamingos, which are famous for flocking to Lake Natron, the birthplace of 75% of the species. Number 4. Svartifoss, Iceland. Combining a waterfall with fascinating basalt columns, the Svartifoss is a sight not to be missed. The name translates to Black Falls due to the burnt lava that stands like an enormous organ behind the tumble veil of white. To see the falls, you'll need to venture 1 mile from the car park with an elevation gain of over 350 feet. After more than 30 minutes, you'll be staring in amazement at a 66-foot waterfall with hexagonal columns that provide one of the most unusual waterfall backdrops in the entire world. The Hallgrímskirkja Church in Reykjavik was inspired by the columns since they are so remarkable. Number 3. Plitvice Lakes, Croatia. It's located within Croatia's largest national park. Plitvice Lakes is one of the world's most beautiful destinations. The lakes are divided into travertine terraces surrounded by dense rainforest home to rare birds, bears, and wolves. The lakes are the star of the show, with their crystal clear water akin to that found in the Caribbean or within a cenote. Connecting each lake are equally eye-catching waterfalls and underground tunnels. Each lake is surrounded by deposits of calcium carbonate. Yes, the same ingredient used in your trusty Tums, creating a natural dam or turf barrier. Number 2. El Peñón de Guadalupe, Colombia. El Peñón de Guadalupe is a towering rock that soars out of the valley floor, weighing 10 million tons. Worshipped by the Tahemes for centuries, the rock became a major destination when the first known ascents were completed in 1954. Today, you can journey to the top of the 650 feet giant via a series of hair-raising staircases, admiring the postcard-worthy views along the way. The staircase follows the only crack in the otherwise perfect rock. After 649 steps, you'll look down on a veritable maze of lakes and distant islands. Lastly, number 1. Lerungar, Tibet, China. In Sichuan Province, Lerungar is the largest monastery in the world and is home to 4,000 monks and nuns. Since it was established in 1980, Lerungar has expanded dramatically to become a rolling red hill of tiny terracotta homes. For travelers, you'll need a sense of adventure. It's a strenuous journey. On arrival, Lerungar can be overwhelming. The maze of streets and poverty, along with the beautiful architecture and welcoming community, is a lot for the senses to handle.